Today on TriCrow Studios, we review the Boss LM-2 limiter. The Boss LM-2 limiter creates a wide variety of sound with a natural limiting effect. Looking at the knobs of this pedal, we have 4, which are level, tone, release, and threshold. Level knob controls the output signal of the sound, making it louder or quieter. The tone knob manipulates the tone of the sound. Turning this knob clockwise will allow you to bring back some of that higher end that you lose with this limiting effect, allowing you to make a more sharper sound. Turning this knob counterclockwise will allow you to cut some of that high end and smoothen out the sound. The release knob adjusts the release time of the effect. So the more clockwise you go, the longer the release time will be. And last but not least, we have our threshold knob. Turning this knob clockwise raises the threshold level while lowering the effect. Counterclockwise lowers the level, raising the effect. So just a note with the threshold knob is if you're maxed out all the way, you're just taking off those top peaks at the top there of your signal. If you bring it all the way down to minimum, you're actually leveling out the threshold, ensuring absolutely no peaks. So without further ado, with any more explanation, we're going to get into what this pedal does little by little, and I'm going to show you on Logic what it's actually doing with the signals. So not only will you hear a difference, you're actually going to see a difference in Logic. So here we go. So out of my whole collection, I grabbed the most noisiest guitar I had just so you guys could hear the dramatics of what this pedal can do. This is plugged straight into the LM-2 limiter and then right into the front of my MesaBoogie dual rectifier multi-watt head. So without further ado, we're going to show you guys what this guitar sounds like with pedal off. So that's the sound of the pedal off. Now we're going to put all the controls at 12 o'clock and show you guys right off the bat what this pedal is doing to your sound, bouncing back and forth with the pedal off and the pedal on. Here we go. So you can see with the pedal off compared to the pedal on, when the pedal's on, you're taking away some of those peaks, getting rid of that, some of that harshness that you get in your sound. So right now we're going to move into moving our threshold knob. I'm going to show you the dramatics of this knob. The reason why you want to start with your threshold knobs, because if you start with your level knob like most people would on many other pedals out there, trying to blend it back and forth to make sure there's no boost or decrease in volume, the threshold knob will actually change the volume of the sound. So you have to compensate with your level knob depending on where your threshold is. So we're going to start out with a threshold and we'll move our level knob as required. But right now I'm just going to show you the dramatics of each way back and forth. Note for this is when you have it all the way to the max, like I said before, you're just clipping the top of that signal. If you bring it all the way to the minimum of on the counterclockwise side, then you're going to really take that signal down and level it out. So we're going to show you right here without any further ado. 12 o'clock. So you can really see the difference in the signal here, and you can obviously hear when you're all the way minimum how much is being taken away of the signal, and when it's all the way to the max, you can hear the little bit that's actually being taken away. So depending on what you want, for me, I want to bring that signal down a little bit just so I can cut off some of that harshness of the guitar. So we're going to bring it a little bit towards the min from starting at the 12 o'clock, and then we're going to go from taste, and then I will eventually bring my level in to match that to where I want it. So here we go. So far we got our threshold and our level knob about where we want it. Now, as you move your tone and release knob, it's going to change the sound a little bit, so you might want to compensate here and there for what you'll hear or won't hear. So we're going to move into our release knob. Our release knob, the more clockwise you go, the longer the release time. So I'm going to show you the dramatics of that. Then we're going to go into putting the knob whereabouts that I feel is necessary for it. So here we go. All the way max. All the way min. And at 12 o'clock. So you can definitely see back and forth. So I'm just gonna slowly go with the knob, just so you guys can see the difference. So that's about where I want my release knob to be, just feels right there. Now we're going to move into our tone. Now start your tone out at the 12 o'clock position, and if you feel like you've lost too much high end, you can bring the high end back in. If you want to bring some of that smoother low end in, you can go back counterclockwise. So here you go. I'm going to show you guys the dramatics of this sound starting out at the 12 o'clock position. So that sounds right to me of where I want this pedal to be. Now I'm going to show you what the pedal sounds like off compared to on. So this concludes my review of the Boss LM-2 limiter. I hope I've been able to answer any of the questions any of the viewers have had out there on this particular pedal. I hope I've been able to help you distinguish if this is the pedal that's right for you or not. Until next time, I'm Kevin of TriCrow Studios. Take care.